top tier trading team. Now, come on, y'all. Hey, on, girl. Oh, come on down. Don't you be too late. We'll show you how to work that market gate. Got one strategy, sit you right down. Tune up your plan, turn your game around. Person on mentorship, talking real plain, so you can ride that chart like a fast freight train. Everybody with the top 10 trading team. You're the trader. Come learn clean, come learn keen. You're the trader. We got your back when the bell go ring. Sign on up, let your profits sing. Everybody with the top 10 trading team. You're the trader. Every single week we got a study hall crew. Q&A, cooking, breaking patterns for you. Screens up big, we be sharing that view. Guiding through the trades till the move run through. Phones start buzzing when I set up call. Real-time alerts, we don't miss that ball. Everybody with the top 10 trading team. You're the trader. Come learn clean, come learn keen. You're the trader. We got your back when the bell go ring. Sign on up, let your profits sing. Everybody with the top 10 trading team. You're the trader. Got a private little room where the traders all chat. Talking through the winds, learn from the flat. You ain't trading all alone in the dark like that. You got a family of pros saying you can do that. Oh yeah. Oh, everybody with the top 10 trading team. You're the trader. Come learn clean, come learn keen. You're the trader. We got your back when the bell go ring. Sign on up, let your profits sing. Everybody with the top 10 trading team. You're the trader.
All right, folks, good morning. Hope you had a great weekend. Hope you got some rest, got some time with your loved ones, yourself, and let's go ahead and get ourselves started with our pre-morning prep and over some of the trades that we are looking at to get into for this week and hopefully possibly as early as today. So let me pull up my charts, do a quick AV check, make sure everything is running. So far, it looks like it is, so let's go ahead and get into it, shall we? All right, so let's start with the overall market like we like to do. So you can see, I presume most of you are seeing that we have a nice little gap up here this morning. We are up about $6, $6.25 on the SPY. So we're up about 1%. That's pretty nice. We're up to 668.50. Looks like 668.50, between that and 669. So that being said, we got a little bounce now, guys. Until we get some definite news from the Middle East, once we see oil futures prices drop more permanently to a lower state, I'm going to continue to think that we're going to be short. Even though we have this gap up today, I think it's going to be limited in its motion. First and foremost, I think we're going to see 671 be our first real level of resistance. Okay, 671. Let me expand this a little bit here. Okay, we'll get that up there. Okay, 671, I believe, is going to be our first real sign of resistance. Okay, right now we're at 668, having gapped up really nicely. Again, a good $6 plus over the weekend. Now, I think we're going to get a little bit exhausted near the 671. If by chance we do get through that 671, 676 is where I believe we stop. I do not see larger than that of a move in return to anything uh, bullish. I don't believe anything's permanently bullish until we get news out of the Middle East and we have permanent oil prices come down, and maybe we get good news from the Fed in terms of lowering interest rates, maybe a little bit sooner than anticipated, though not too soon, like maybe in April or June instead of July. Um, that would be a combination of factors that would culminate to lead me to believe that maybe we could get above this 676, and then to really get back to a more bullish permanent overtone. Okay. Until then, I plan to short bounces. I still have an overall bearish thesis on the market until we get those variables. Okay. That being said, we do have a nice little gap down today in oil futures. Okay. We gapped up over the weekend to above $100 a barrel to 101.75 basically. We pulled back that now thus far all the way back down to 95. So that's really nice for us, giving us the opportunity in the market for this little dead cat bounce, whatever it may be here. Maybe it will end up being that this dead cat bounce will be setting the pivot for the return to a more bullish permanent reversal. Well, semi-permanent reversal. Nothing is permanent in the market, as it goes. But that being said, we're going to keep an eye on that. Oil futures are always something we are going to eye down, especially in this environment with the headline-driven news environment that we're in. Okay. Oil especially. So as we see oil futures prices drop, it gives us the opportunity in the market, in the overall SPY, to be able to move up. Okay. So that being said, that's what we're looking at for that. Now, that's going to affect some of our other trades here too. So what we're looking at on Amazon is we're looking for a gap up to about this 211 to get our stop tested. We want to see weakness up here between that 210 and 211. When we get confirmation of that resistance, we're going to buy puts shorting into that weakness. Now, if we happen to buy the bulk of our position at 211, I will take profit off at 209. But the buy zone really extends to 208 for those puts, right? So that's an if we buy our majority here, if we get that test. Say we only get to like 210 to test that resistance, and we find that that's where the resistance is met, and we start to kind of catapult down. We'll take profit more at 207, 206, all the way down to every dollar through 202. Okay, so that is Amazon. Ford, we're looking to short as well. We'd like a gap up into this 12 to 1207 zone. Upon confirmation that that's going to be resistance, we buy into that weakness, getting puts, shorting, and taking profit at 1170, 1150, and if we get to it down there at 1137. Okay, so that's Ford. And then the Netflix trade is also a short. We have three shorts and two longs here today. But the first or the third short is Netflix. We're looking for a gap up to test our 96 stop. Upon confirmation that this area is in fact resistance, we will buy puts into that weakness through 95.68, which is the high of day from Friday. And depending on what we see, I might take profit, especially if I did buy up at 96. I will take a small piece, the first tier off at 95.50. Otherwise, I will wait till 95, 94.50, 94, 93.50. Every 50 cents on the way to 93. And normally I like to give a full delta for every profit target, guys, but we are in too much of a headline risk environment right now where I do not feel comfortable holding on to positions too long. Excuse me 1 second. Come in, guys. Come in. Go ahead and grab it. So I do not feel comfortable holding these positions for very long. I want to take my profit, put it in my pocket, get to the next setup. Have a great day at school, hon.
Thank you.
All right, I love you. Have a good one.
Yeah.
And so that is Netflix here. Let's go ahead and move on to Palantir. Palantir is our only long, well, not really. We also have another possible long, but I'll explain that in a second. Palantir is a long. So what we're looking for is a draw down to 147. Once we get 147 tested and confirmed as resistance, we buy into that strength through 149, taking profit at 150. 51, 52, just every dollar up to 55, 155. 155, I will be fully exiting my position long and potentially looking for a short entry at that point. So I've got that marked right here so you can see it. All right. But 155, I'll be emptying out of my full position, potentially looking for a short. We're going to wait and see what happens at that time. Now, the other one that's a possible long is Mara, but it's also a possible short. And this is right in that section where, look, and it's testing right now. Bitcoin has got to test the 74K. Bit breaks through. Mara is going to wake up in this zone. It'll open here this morning, and it'll already be at this 985 to 10. Watch. What we want to see is if Bitcoin rejects at this level, then we can expect a rejection here again for the second time, putting in our double top because we rejected on Friday. So we'll have a double top rejection, which would bring us back likely all the way down at least to this 9.25, if not even this 9 and this 850. That will be dependent on how far the pullback on Bitcoin is if we reject here at 74. If we reject, we're going at least to the 71.8, possibly back to 70. So that's what we're going to watch with Mara. Now, if the opposite happens, if Bitcoin pops up above the 74K, pulls back on light volume, holds this level, and then starts to look like it's going to go back up, then we could expect a similar price action here. Pop up above 10, hold this area on pullback, and then start to move up as Bitcoin does, in which case you could switch that right around, guys, and look for the long. Okay, so that is kind of a long. We're anticipating short, ready for the long on the Mara. Okay, but that's it, guys. That is our trades that we're looking at for the day here. If you have any questions about these trades, please feel free to leave those in the chat if you're a non-member. If you are a member, as you know, you can go ahead and direct message or text me directly, and I'll get to those questions. Non-members, join us here at toptiertradingteam.com. We are a private Facebook group at the moment. We are working on our non-social media platform. We should have that up by the end of this month, so that come April 1st, we have that in full swing. What we offer is one-on-one personalized mentorship, where we don't just let you sit there and watch videos and then you're left on your own to figure out context, to figure out application and things like that. We're going to hold real conversations over the phone, discussing in detail everything necessary to expedite your learning curve and get you profitable in the markets as soon as possible. Those one-on-one mentorship sessions, I find people really help accelerate their learning curve through that. The other thing that we offer is weekly study halls where we go over the trades from the week prior. We go over setups that we're looking at for the week coming up, as well as a Q&A session to really clarify anything that might be needing that clarification. Third, we also have real-time, direct to your phone, swing trade alerts that allow you the time to not only get the alert, contemplate the trade, analyze the trade, and make a decision for yourself if it's a trade that you feel comfortable taking, and then giving you plenty of time to execute on those trades as well, because they are swing trades, not just quick scalps or quick day trades that you find are done before you even get like the alert or anything. So actually get to profit on these plays. So again, toptiertradingteam.com. We certainly look forward to seeing you there and helping you trade profitably here with us. All right, guys, I'm going to go do some last minute pre-market activities, get ready for the market open. I'll be back when the market is opening to, of course, call it like I see it.
Top trading team. Yeah, we talk that green. Money in my sleep, but I stay on screen. Hey, hey. Double cup coffee, charts on tilt, candles on fire, count get billed. I don't chase hype, I just chase my plan. Rich so tight, turn a bend to 10 grand. Swipe that phone, I'm in real time mode. Trend line clean, whole squad on go. We don't guess, we don't pray, we return. Maybe one day, two, I really do this daily. Top tier trading team, we the ones they see. Whole squad eating up the same routine. From the watch list straight to the winning screen. Top tier trading team. Whoa. Top tier trading team. One strategy session, line stay ring. Personal mentorship, keep your mind in position. Weekly group study, we all locked in. Top tier trading team, we were built to win. Sunday night lights, got a plan for the week. Study hall running till my eyes feel weak. Q&A popping, new plays unlocked. Next morning open, we already got stock. Screen share flowing, you can see my hand. In the red cool, I'll show you where you stand. Trade by trade, I'ma walk you through. From scared to prepared, yeah, we changed that view. Top 10, top tier trading team. We are the ones they see. Whole squad eating on the same routine. From the watch list straight to the winning screen. Top tier trading team. Top tier trading. On alerts hit, that's a line on go. Check this level when the price run cold. Private group chat where the game get passed. Top tier trading, we gon' make it last. Who you know break it down like this, like this. Teach you how to hunt, not wish, not wish. Option shares, long game, quick flip, same grind, different whip, same script, same script. We don't flex what we can't explain. If I'm supposed to win, I can show the pain. Risk right, sleep right, still get paid. Top tier trading team, that's the way we made it. Top tier trading team. We are the ones they see. Whole squad eating up the same routine. From the watch list straight to the winning screen. Top tier trading team. Top tier trading team. One strategy sessions, line stay ringing. Personal mentorship, keep your mind in position. Phone trade alerts, got the whole crew tapped. Top tier trading team, put the name on the map. Top tier. Top tier trading team. Yeah, we talk that green. Money in my sleep. Top tier. Top tier trading team. Top tier. Top tier trading team. We don't guess. We got a game plan. From the bell in the morn till the after hours jam. Hey! Step in the room, shots on the ceiling, candles on the wall, everybody dealing. Make the shift strategy, we cook that recipe, break it down live, turn theory to equity. Weekly group calls, study till it clicks, Q&A sessions, bag of trading tricks, teaching that risk so the bag stay clean from the scalpers and the swing kings, all on one team. Top tier trading team. We don't chase, we scheme. Got the plan, got the place, turn the red to green. Top tier trading team, walk you through the dream. From the watch list page to the closing screen. Top tier, top tier, top tier trading team. Top tier, top tier, top tier trading team. Trading minds live, you can feel that vibe. Run the why and the win, so the fam all thrive. Screen share rolling, got in every move. Real time walkthrough, help you find your groove. Phone trade alerts, yeah, the line stay hot. When we see that set up, you can take your shot. Private group chat, talk shop all day. Drop track, drop game, help the whole crew play. Come on! Top tier trading team. We don't chase, we scheme. Got the plan, got the place, turn the red to green. Top tier trading team, walk you through the dream. From the watch list page to the closing screen. Top tier, top tier, top tier trading team. Top tier, top tier, top tier trading team. Mentors in the lab, cook it up, that sauce. Study hall nights, turn the L to a boss. Phone line buzzing, chat room light. Whole squad locked in on the same inside. Top tier trading team. We don't chase, we scheme. Got the plan, got the place, turn the red to green. Top tier trading team, walking through the dream. From the watch list page to the closing screen. Top tier, top tier, top tier trading team. Top tier, top tier, top tier trading team. Got a crew in the back room, charts stacked knee high, candles burning, coffee churning, watching numbers crawl on by. They call us top tier trading team. We hunt that field, we stalk that green. Mentorship and strategy sessions, turn that guessing into lean. Mean machine, oh yeah. Top tier trading team. We don't roll no dice. We call that market cold as ice. From that first bell ring to the closing screen, you got a blues-born backbone in the top-tier trading team. Monday night study hall, questions cutting to the bone. Weekly Q&A, money talk, you ain't trading all alone. Screen share glow on a torn up desk, guiding through the step-by-step mess. Real-time whisper through that phone, hit that level and leave it alone. Hey, top-tier trading team. We don't roll no dice. We call that market cold as ice. From that first bell ring to the closing screen, you got a blues-born backbone in the top-tier trading team. We got trading Mars on the night shift, watching every tick, every drift. Private chat room humming low, secrets only paid up players know. Real-time alerts like a preacher shout, take your profit, child, get out. Top-tier trading team. We don't roll no dice. We call that market cold as ice. Mentors, halls, and late night schemes, phone calls, screams, and midnight dreams. You got a blues-born backbone in the top-tier trading team.
All right, guys, we are officially open here. So let's go ahead and see how we have opened and where we are at. So give me 1 second here. All right, let's see. Okay. So far, nothing yet. Really moving extensively. Ford looks like it's starting to enter our little area of a potential buy zone for the puts. Oh, goodness. 1 second. All right, we're just getting into our buy zone, but we want to wait on Ford to get all the way up towards that 12. Okay, we'd like to get as close to our stop before we consider buying as possible. So that way we get the best possible price and the best possible risk reward ratio. So we're going to be very patient here, guys. We're going to wait, see if the market keeps creeping up. Now, I do think the market likely holds this positive day, a day in the green here. If we don't, that would be extremely bearish, obviously. But that being the case, I do think we hold it. I don't think we necessarily get a higher than 671. If we do, I really don't see us getting over that 676. I think that's where we kind of stall out on this move back up. But until then, I'm going to see if we can continue this move up. And if so, on the SPY, if we keep moving up, I expect Ford to do the same and really get us deeper into our buy zone so that we do have that better risk reward for the play itself. So we are going to be patient, guys, as we like to be. You know, we don't even like to really look at any entries at minimum for the first 15 minutes. Lots of times it's up to the half an hour before we even consider getting in anything, just to let the volatility settle, let price find itself, just kick that IV cost down on these contracts. So again, we maximize our risk reward, get the best profit ratios that we can, and then just act in accordingly from there. So we're going to see, we're going to keep an eye on these. So we've had some nice weather here in Chicago prior to today. We were 60s. We even hit a day or two in the 70s over the last like week or so. Today is 26 and snowy outside. So it's so you might have just heard the plow truck go by in the background, but we haven't seen those guys in a while, and it's interesting now that it's here again. That's for sure. But it's only expected for the next 2 days or something. So hopefully it's gone quickly and we're back to spring-like weather. All right, so we're at 1188. Seems like we stalled out a little bit. Again, way early, guys. So much time left in the market. We're not jumping at anything or any conclusions or anything at this point. Just watching, just patiently watching. No FOMO, guys. There's no need to jump in something just to be in something. We like to take our time, really pick our spots, pick our shots, It's very similar to hunting. You may, for those of you that are hunters, for those of you that aren't hunters, you might not know, so I'll kind of outline it. You'll spend all day in a tree, in whatever it is that you're hunting, depending, let's say hypothetically in a tree stand, you'll spend all day there quietly waiting for your shot. You might get a deer, it might not be the right deer. It might not be that a deer comes by for a long time, and then when one does, yeah, it's not, maybe it's a doe, it's not the buck you've been looking for or really looking to get or whatever, and you still have to wait. You got to let that deer go by. You got to resist the urge to pull the trigger when it's not necessarily appropriate to do so. You know what I mean? And that's what it is here too. You have to wait, be ready, be watchful, and then take the shot when the shot presents itself. No different, just like a sniper. All right. And that's what we're waiting here. So we want to see what happens. But we did touch and get into our buy zone. So technically, you can be, and it's all about your own style, guys. You could be aggressive, you could be conservative. I like to wait for confirmation, so I tend to be a conservative trader. Now, that means sometimes I'm going to miss trades because I'm waiting for my price to get met, right? My plan to be met. Now, there are times where you could take positions like, I understand if you're busy and you can't wait or you got school, work, whatever, you might have your buys and so forth set so that when those levels are touched, that you're just set to buy and you got to move on and whatever. If you do that, there's nothing wrong with being aggressive like that, in my opinion, so long as you are taking proper risk management protocols in place. Your stop is extremely important, and very important is not only having a stop to begin with, which is an integral part of your trade plan. You should not get into a trade if you don't have at least your entries, your exits, and your stop. Those are just vital. And that's the minimum. That being said, when you hit your stop, if you are being an aggressive trader, buying when you just enter levels as opposed to waiting, watching for confirmation of levels, then I strongly, would say good idea to really set those, make sure you have a set stop and stick to those stops, because you'll find that it'll save you in the long run. But fortunately, because I get to watch and I'm observant, I get to see if this area, in fact, does what I anticipated to do. And then upon that confirmation of my expectations being met, then I take the position and then I take the ride that I expect to take. That's different. So I have a little flexibility. So in this case, let's say, for instance, we get up here, say you bought upon this entry, because that, it happens to be, it fits your circumstance too. Well, we may get a little bounce here up and then into this zone, which would obviously put you a little bit in the negative. And then now you got to go all this way just to get back to even and then get all the way down here before you could get paid, right? This way, what I do is wait for the test of this area. If I don't see it, then okay. Now we're pulling back right here, so I could wait and see of a retest of this initial high of the day. Okay. Now, if it pulls back all the way to here, maybe it goes up to retest this high of the day. Now, if I see excessive weakness upon this retest of this level, even though we're not at the stop yet, well, sure, I'll take the short then. Because now I'm getting other indications, not just a piercing and entry into a certain level, but I'm getting a double top. I'm getting potentially a trade line VWAP cross to the downside after that. I'm getting multiple indicators that are giving me more confidence that that's likely the scenario we're going to see, and that's the play to make, right? So there's different ways to go through with this. I'm going to wait for confirmation. This at this point hasn't even, we have trade line testing VWAP. It's very soon here. It looks like price action does want to retest this initial high of the day, in which case if we get a trade line VWAP cross, and with this type of volume profile that thus far is forming, still early. I mean, look, we're what, 10 minutes, guys? Yeah, exactly 10 minutes in. So this is again way early, but just in this formation alone, I would say it's more bullish than bearish, right? And then so we're likely to get through the high of the day and take us hopefully higher into our buy channel. All right. So that's what I'm anticipating. And I would like to get a test of this upper end of the channel. Upon that confirmation of resistance from up here, maybe we get up here and then form a double top up here. And then we see a trade line VWAP rejection at that point, or across to the downside. If we get an upside cross here, that's my signal to buy those puts and then head on down from there. Okay. So, different ways to trade. I mean, you're still, if you got it on this piercing, you're still good. And you might actually, you might get down here to Friday's low at 1169 before the bounce comes. And if you did, there's nothing wrong with this little scalp either. From 1188, 1190 down to 1169. I mean, that's a decent little scalp. You can make a nice 20-30% on that, on your money. Make 100, turn 100 into 125, 130, just real quick. And then if you've done that, you do that and you get the bounce back. I mean, there's nothing to say you can't take similar trades back. And, lots of different techniques, lots of different kung fus that are available here. All right. So look at Amazon. We got right in similar thing. Started the day right into our short entry. Look at that. Right tapped into that short entry. And look, you're already 2 deltas down on your way to your third delta. So there are advantages at times when being aggressive does pay off. And of course, that means that there's times where it doesn't. But then, you're taking your risk at that time. Whoops. Netflix looks crazy right now. Let me fix this one. Look at that. Look at Netflix. Woo. Started off right tapping again the high of day from Friday. So we got clearly marked. It's 95.68. Look what it did when it touched. I mean, beautiful short there. If you happen to be aggressive on this one paid you off, for sure. All right. Now Palantir. Palantir. Well, we were right on the sentiment and the direction. We just didn't get the entry. Clearly, we were looking for an entry down here, and we kind of gapped up ahead of time. Look, this may pull back, especially if we get some de-escalatory news out of the Middle East. And if we continue to see oil prices pull back, then certainly that would give the SPY, again, room to move up. And then prices pull back on oil and there's de-escalatory news. That would bring Palantir back down because they're a military software application company, right? So if military action is down, we could get some down move, but we're only get so much down move. So this may set up for us later, guys. Even though we're up here now and we're already in profit zones, this could very well retrace and recoil. I will take time during the day to kind of readjust the trade plan to see if it's applicable. Okay. And then Mara, look at that. Just from the trade plan, we said watch for the double top resistance. Right? We said if Bitcoin, all right, that's that plow outside, guys. Bitcoin does not hold this attempt to break 74 and get into 75, that we can look for. And let me go to a 5 minute to get a better. Actually, let me see the 1 minute. Okay, let's keep it on the 5. So it's coming back to test that level now. We're going to see if it holds. But if it doesn't hold the 74 on Bitcoin, absolutely expect Mara to pull back. We're already pulling back from that area that we expected to short from. And we'll see where it goes from there. Okay, so here we go. We're going to just keep watching everything else, guys. Keep your eyes peeled. If you have any questions, let me know. All right. All right, guys. So here we are on the SPY, moved on up just like we anticipated. It's 8:54 Central Time. And as we anticipated, we are starting to get some resistance as we're creeping up towards the 671, right? And as we said in that pre-market, we expected this. Now, if by chance we get above it and we see a low volume pullback and a hold of this 71, we do have 676 to potentially look forward to. I really don't see us getting above there unless we get more permanent good news out of the Middle East, oil prices, and interest rates. I don't see us getting above that. Now, some good news did come out over the weekend in regards to a few, not like a full fleet, not like an exorbitant number of, but some tankers had been allowed to get through the Strait of Hormuz, and Iran has made a statement that they will not impede, or they're likely to not impede any further traffic through the strait that is not U.S. or Israel flagged. So basically, what that says is that all other ships, all other tankers, anything within the region or international as well, traffic that flows through there would be allowed to do so freely with that, so long as they don't carry the American or Israeli flag. Well, that can increase some flow of oil, which in turn is what's reducing the price of oil. Excuse me, at the moment, and allowing this move up on the SPY and all stocks and equities to take place. Okay, and in doing so, we do have the potential to move up a little bit higher. But again, until we get more permanent news in terms of de-escalation out in the Middle East, I think that this will be muted as we get closer and closer to that potentially 676 level. Okay, so I want to be clear about that, and that's why we're still looking at shorts for the majority of our plays here today. Amazon, we're looking to go short. Ford, we're looking to go short. Netflix, we're looking to be short. And that's all because we still feel that even though today is likely to be green, and we can actually put in the first bullish day here in like a week, and that would be great. But the fact of the matter is that there are limitations for how far that could go until we get the right variables and catalysts to really let us feel otherwise in regards to that, and to change the sentiment in regards to it. In fact, give me 1 second here, guys. Oops, 1 sec. All right, so here we have oil futures, and they've come down significantly. We're at 94.50. Now, guys, over the evening, okay, since yesterday's futures opening, we had popped up to 101.75. All right, so to be down here at 94 and dropping is a great sign in that regard. Let's move to the 15-minute here to get a better overall view. All right, make it a little cleaner there. So we have a clear double top right there, and obviously we're pulling back heavily off of that. But we could probably find some support, or likely to find support in the low 90s here. I suspect that's where things may go here, and we'll kind of see from there if we find that support. Then if we do, guys, whenever we find the support, anticipate that we're going to get a potential turnaround in the market here as well on the SPY, because that's going to be the point where they have to balance each other out. They clearly have an inverse relationship, so that you got to be mindful of that. But if and when we do base out in these low 90s, kind of look and see where we're at with the SPY, and then that could kind of help us determine these other trades we're in as well. Okay, and that's why we're looking for these shorts instead. So, all right, guys, let me know if you have any questions. All right, guys. So I want to come on here. I'm having trouble with my charts. I don't know what's going on with my connection here. I don't know if it's the weather we're getting, if it's the sudden cold and the snow or something, but I'm having trouble with my charts. I don't know if it's a system error or I don't know what. So unfortunately, guys, that's the case here. I'm going to continue to try to figure it out, but if I don't do it soon, I'm going to go ahead and close the stream for the day, and then see if I can have to restart the system, maybe something like that. I'm not super tech savvy. I mean, well into my 40s, and even social media and all this stuff is rather new to me. So I will do what I can, and I'll certainly get back to you guys, let you know, keep you updated on what's happening along the way. Um, but what I can do is at least, oh goodness. Well, I'm glad at least everything worked for the pre-market prep and the beginning of the market here. So let me see what I can do. I'll be back as soon as possible, guys. Interesting. All right, well, markets are pushing, guys. We got the SPY up at 670.50. Really wants to test that 671 resistance zone. Keeping an eye on that, even despite my chart on the screen not necessarily showing right now. I think I'm going to have to do a system reset, guys. I'm so sorry. I hate the fact that this is happening. But again, I'm not so tech savvy, and I don't know what else to do about this. If that doesn't work, then I would contact customer support from my charting system and kind of see what is happening. But let me see what else we got going on in the market. Ford is at 1174. Okay, so slight pullback off of that 1188 high of the day. And we're going to see if it holds, if it moves back up to test that high of the day with weakness as the SPY is attempting to hit that 671. Maybe that would be our signal for with a double top to potentially enter that short at that level, in consideration that we may not hit the the $12 zone that we were looking to potentially test. Again, I'll keep an eye on that from the side here. We'll go from there. So, all right, guys, I'm going to continue to try, but if I don't succeed in fixing this, unfortunately, I'm going to have to restart everything, which means I'm going to have to shut down the stream, restart the stream, all that jazz. So, let me kind of troubleshoot, and I'll get right back to you guys. All right, guys. So I don't know what is the deal here, but I'm going to have to go ahead and restart the stream. I'm going to restart my whole system. For some reason, just not able to reload the charts here. So, 90% of problems can't get fixed with restarts. And unfortunately, that does mean a disturbance here in the stream. So I will be back for round two as soon as possible, guys. All right. See you in a few.